This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Now at 7, a demonstration outside the Monroe County Courthouse following what officials are calling two racially motivated incidents. One incident was allegedly caught on video that has been spread on social media. Thank you for joining us on the News at 7. I'm Amanda Starantino. Let's get right to RTV6's Cameron Riddle live in Bloomington, where that demonstration has been going on for about 90 minutes now. Cameron.
Amanda, good evening. There are hundreds of people who have packed the lawn here at the Monroe County Courthouse right now with their hands in the air listening to the speakers. Among them, several faces and voices who are active here in the Bloomington and Monroe County community tonight. These people are here after witnessing a horrific video filled with racism and hate, all against one man, Vox Booker, whose name is now being shared around the world after this videotape surfaced of him being attacked by several people as he was out spending the weekend with a couple of his friends. Vox is okay tonight. He is shaken and he is upset and he is hurt. But tonight he is feeling a bit better as he looks around and sees hundreds of people of different shades here on the Monroe County Courthouse lawn for him. They are continuing to protest tonight for two things. Number one, they want the people that you saw in that video to be arrested. So far, they have not faced any charges. The DNR was called on a 911 call, and the people in that video were not arrested. That's issue number one. Issue number two is with the DNR itself. Tonight, there is an investigation into what went right and what went wrong in that 911 call and why no one was arrested tonight. The protesters, including Vox Booker himself, is asking for those officers to be taken off the force. They say this is another example of that systematic racism. In this case, Vox says when he called 911, the police did not go talk to him, instead talked to his attackers. He feels like he was victimized all over again after thinking he was going to die while simply trying to celebrate a holiday weekend. We're live tonight in Bloomington. I'm Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
And Hoosiers are stepping up to help a Central Indiana family after a fireworks accident turned their lives upside down. RTV6's Troy Washington shows you how kind gestures have restored this family's faith in humanity.
Yesterday should have been a drastically worse day than it was. But you know, we must have seen 100 people, gotten 300 texts, and people just donating money, sending it, Venmoing us money, dropping off clothes for kids, toys,
toothbrushes, toiletries, things we didn't even think of.
This family may have lost most of their material belongings, but they haven't lost their belief in the good in the world.
One of the most incredible things was when all this was happening, and everything that's going on in the world right now, the camaraderie from the neighbors and the people in the apartment complex.
On Saturday, a fireworks accident caused this duplex to go up in flames.
You hear about it every fourth, somebody getting hurt or injured or there being a fire, and it really hit home for us. It was scary. It was very scary. Fireworks are a very powerful thing, and something that professionals are the ones who need to handle them. I think this has been a very big learning lesson in general with fireworks.
In fact, I-Town Church even connected with the family to lend a hand.
We have a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 19-month-old. Our 19-month-old he's our little blessing. He had a rough start to life. He's got a G-tube, as well as some other physical limitations, and so, just losing medical supplies, that's been hard. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and, we had a lot of medical stuff.
Medical supplies the church now has plans to try to replace for the family, reminding this family they aren't alone, even though they've lost the place they once called home. Working for you on the Northeast Side, Troy Washington, RTV6.
And I-Town Church reached out to RTV6 because they wanted to help the family but did not know how to reach them. We will keep you updated on their efforts. And today, the State Department of Health reported an additional 5 deaths and 330 COVID-19 cases in Indiana. That brings the total number of deaths to 2,505. The state's rate of positive tests has been slowly dropping, and tonight it's at 9.2%, according to the Regent Street Institute, which has been tracking trends in COVID data. Indiana's rate of ICU admissions is increasing. The rate of emergency room visits is decreasing. And videos on social media show people packing beaches and other party spots over the holiday weekend. It's a concerning trend for states in the South and West that are seeing major surges in infections. The mayor of Florida's Miami-Dade County has rolled back reopening, shutting down restaurants and gyms. The state's governor is warning young people to be vigilant.
The age that has the most cases in the state of Florida is age 21. Just because you're 21 and you may not have significant symptoms, that does not mean that you can't infect other people.
37 states are seeing an increase in cases, Arizona becoming the 8th to surpass 100,000 cases, with ICUs at 89% capacity. In Houston, Texas, one hospital reports the ICU capacity at 98%. Now, taking a live look outside right now, we are, I don't know exactly where we're looking out, Kevin, but a little bit clearer than it was than we saw earlier.
Looking to the west, northwest,
Okay.
A little different story from the heavy rainfall that we had, produced over an inch of rain at the airport. Now, there are still some thunderstorms. I don't know if you heard that or not. Cameron Riddles reports some rumbles of thunder. I'll take you to Bloomington here in 1 second, as well as Morgan County. What's been happening west side of Indy and in Avon, Plainfield, Brownsburg areas, see that there and then gone. Heavy rainfall starting to collapse down near Martinsville, both to the north and the south of Martinsville. This putting down some heavy rainfall and expanding just a bit from Bloomington. That may have people thinking about getting off of Lake Monroe once they start hearing the thunder. Isolated thunderstorms will continue to diminish this evening. They'll pop up, but I think the overall coverage diminishes. If you had rain today, you're more likely to have the patchy fog tonight. Next 3 days, temperatures will be in the 90s. We've recovered back into the 80s, 82 in Indy. Bloomington temporarily at 91. You'll cool off quickly because of that thunderstorm. Then temperatures during the day tomorrow, they'll be back in the 90s. We've got a hot forecast for a while. I'll explain what happens after Thursday.
There was a steep drop in the number of students applying for federal aid during the first weeks of the pandemic. A new analysis found the number of FAFSA applications fell by nearly half compared to last year. Those numbers have risen slightly in campaigns from states and schools urging students to apply, but they're still down overall. Experts blame the decrease on a variety of factors, including students not being able to meet with their counselor, having to take on jobs to support their families, and opting to delay college. And as students prepare to return to school, a local organization that focuses on empowering young women and girls is preparing to help.
I wanted to do something special for the kids. And I thought about school supplies, but I know that there's so many school supply drives out. And so I wanted to just look at the mission of my organization again.
URain Inc. helps young women ages 8 to 18 feel confident in all areas of their life. Founder Nicole Norwood started what she calls Project Pads. She's calling on the community to donate feminine hygiene products and pouches to put them in that will be distributed to local schools. In just 5 days, the community stepped up to donate, and they surpassed their goal of 100 packages. A big reason why: local members at Power B Bounce workout class held a mini drive and have collected hundreds of packages.
I've researched, and the stats tell us that, you know, there are so many girls that miss school because of the lack of, or girls who just don't have the finances to buy them. So I thought that that would be a good way to give back to the school and help the mission of my organization, and actually just, you know, help a lot of girls around the city.
When she brought it to my attention, like I said, I never thought about it until she brought it to my attention, and then I happened to see the statistics of the numbers about, and I was astonished with it.
Just because of the sisterhood with the ladies from Bounce, I knew that they would show up and show out, and that's exactly what they did.
If we can be that beacon of hope to help and bring in things of this nature to ease off, you know, some of the struggle from our families in the inner city community, we're here to do it.
They plan to continue collecting tampons, pads, panty liners, and pouches through July to distribute to schools starting in August. Still ahead on the news at 7 with tons of hand sanitizers on the market. You want to choose one that will safely keep germs away. What to watch out for according to the FDA. But first, why a local artist says murals painted following destructive protests are playing a role in the healing process.
eChannel.com/rebound. This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Following destruction and frustration, we saw local artists turn the boards used to cover broken windows in downtown Indianapolis into beautiful works of art. RTV6's Troy Washington shows you whether the art that sprung up after demonstrations against police brutality will stick around.
Here at the intersection of Illinois and Michigan, there's a site that makes most do a double take. It's a mural that Andrew Parnell took this board used to cover a broken window and turned it into a canvas.
There's some historical context to this whole project because this is an expression of what Indiana did with their angst and their anger, frustration. We chose to do something positive. The artists came together and we reflected our frustrations and our voices.
Following destructive protests, artwork like this started to pop up. Andre Parnell is proud because he was able to let his heart speak through his paintbrush.
I was seeking a way, how do I express myself? I was a bit depressed because me being 50 years old, I knew I couldn't be in the streets marching. I couldn't be yelling at the top of my lungs and really shouting down someone about my ideas. So I said, what is my voice? And the Arts Council came up with an idea that answered just that.
Through the Art Council and other volunteers, he got his chance to really process the pain and hurt stemming from the loss of George Floyd and the unrest across the nation.
Through painting this mural, I found healing.
The vision behind the mural speaks to unity, an important message going into Independence Day weekend.
I think this will drive us forward, and the ultimate message here is we rise together.
Working for you downtown, Troy Washington, RTV6.
And some heavy rainfall just north of Bloomington, and look what just popped up to the east along State Road 46. Take a radar tour and show you a change in the pattern coming up.
Dream fearlessly.
Whether you're at work or running errands, hand sanitizer has become a necessity. But the Food and Drug Administration is warning that some hand sanitizer products could be hazardous to your health. Mandy Gaither explains what to look out for in today's Health Minute.
If you're using hand sanitizer to help slow the spread of COVID-19, you'll want to check the label. The FDA says it's seeing an increase in hand sanitizer products contaminated with potentially poisonous methanol, which can be life-threatening if ingested and toxic if absorbed through the skin. The agency says states have also reported cases of blindness, hospitalizations, and deaths in adults and children after drinking hand sanitizer products tainted with methanol. When using hand sanitizer, the FDA says to make sure the product contains ethanol, which is safe for topical use, not methanol. The FDA says some of the tainted products could still be in stores, although one brand has been recalled after the agency sent out a warning last month. The FDA says young children who accidentally drink hand sanitizer and adults who ingest it as a substitute for alcohol are the most at risk of poisoning and should seek immediate medical attention. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Well, the temperatures did zoom into the 90s before the thunderstorms developed. Early afternoon, those flare up when the temperatures and the humidity combine and build the thunderstorms. 93 in Lafayette. Temperature in Fort Wayne made it to 94 degrees. We've cooled to 82 in Indianapolis. When the thunderstorms came through, we were down to 74 for a bit. Still 90s, Terre Haute and Bloomington. Bloomington not for long. You're cooler as a result of the nearby thunderstorms. The chance for thunderstorms there the next 3 days, just like today. Not all of us will see it. The scales are tipped in favor of staying dry at your house next 3 days. I think the scales change toward more likely that you'll get some rain Friday. That's our next best chance for widespread rain. Humidity stays where it's been until we get to the weekend, then the humidity will drop after the cold front goes through on Friday, and it will open the door to somewhat cooler temperatures, certainly more average for this time of year. Under 90 degrees, that's saying something. That will be the case Friday, Saturday, and on a Sunday. As you look at the radar, not much happening at all in the northern half of the state and not too much to the south, but we'll go to Morgan and Monroe counties, just to the south of Martinsville. Paragon, you're starting to get a nice little downpour there along State Road 67 and I-69 over to State Road 46 east of Bloomington. The downpour's expanding. That may come back toward Ellettsville. You may have some rain there as well. And we get to Columbus, I-65 and State Road 46. Nice downpour in Bartholomew County. Tomorrow, right back where we are today. Temperatures in the low 90s. Thunderstorms develop, especially during the afternoon hours, any one of which would put down heavy rainfall because the humidity will still be high. 1 to 4 o'clock. See how random they are? There's nothing to focus the thunderstorm development. These boundaries that are left after thunderstorms die out will help spark the new rounds tomorrow. Temperatures, again, 90 or above just about all the viewing area. Wednesday forecast, 40% chance of thunderstorms, familiar temperatures in the 90s. There, your Wednesday is dry in the morning. The shower chances increase in the afternoon. As you move to Thursday, scattered thunderstorms develop, temperature at 91. That should be the last of our string of 90-degree days. Thunderstorms likely Friday. As we go to the weekend, we're even back into the 60s for overnight. Low 64 will feel cool compared to where we've been, but we get a break from the 90s at least. Amanda?
Okay, thank you, Kevin. This is the time of year that Central Indiana homeowners need to be prepared for severe storms. That means you might get potentially unwelcome visitors. Tim Maniscalco with the Better Business Bureau says contractors may be showing up at your house, but that does not mean you should give them your business.
This is the time of year when we do see a lot of door-to-door contractors coming. They can knock on your door, leave a card, leave some sort of a flyer. So you just want to be very, very careful because a lot of these times, these people, they aren't really skilled in their particular trade. They're going to offer you great deals. One of the ones that we see a lot of are people will have what they call leftover asphalt, and they want to reseal and recoat your driveway. A lot of times, the material just isn't there, or they say that they've run out of material halfway through and don't finish the job. Another tactic that they will use is quote you a very low price, ask for a deposit up front, but then not do the job. So you just want to be careful with these types of people. Number one, if someone comes to your door unsolicited and the truck isn't marked, they don't have a card, that type of thing, that's a real red flag. Number two, you do want to ask for references. That's always a good way to check out to see if someone does do a good job and if they're legitimate. And usually these types of things are for somewhat expensive jobs, so it's worth your while to go out and get at least 3 estimates, try to get those in writing. And then also, it's also good to have a written contract up front with anybody that you're going to do, this type of work, whether it's roofing, whether it's resealing your driveway, some sort of repairs or updating around the home, that type of thing. So we just see a lot of that this time of year. And we want to make certain people on the lookout for that. So if someone comes to your door, if there's some sort of flyer that's put in your mailbox or in your door, that type of thing, do a little bit of homework before you actually give them any money.
And you can find more information about shady contractors and how to avoid them at bbb.org. RTV6 News at 7. We'll be right back.
Reach out to us for more information.
With coronavirus cases continuing to rise across the country, many Americans are rethinking their summer vacation plans. AAA is forecasting that travel will fall more than 14.5% between July and September compared to last year. Traveling by car will likely account for 97% of all trips this summer, with air travel forecasted 74% below last year's levels.
Expanding area of thunderstorms just north of Bloomington, but surrounding Bloomington to the north and to the east. Martinsville, southwest of you near Paragon, a downpour, as well as Columbus. These last about 40 minutes could produce anywhere from half an inch to almost an inch of rain. Amanda?
Thank you for making RTV6 your choice for news. Our next newscast is tonight at 11. We'll see you then.